Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Eric Bowman Podcast. So, today, what I'd like to talk to you about is those people in your life, if you're within the 20 to, well, even 18. Let's just put it 18. Or even earlier than that, because a lot of people get this question, like, way early on in life, and it's very uncalled for, but the whole getting your life together kind of question. The whole, what are you going to do for the rest of your life question. For one, anybody asserting this notion, go fuck yourself, because you don't do the same thing over and over and over again. That's the definition of insanity, you bitch. Second of all, you do something different with your life all the time so you can keep yourself mentally engaged, but also kind of advance in one aspect. I can see how you could do that, so you can become very specific and skilled in one skill set, but there's not one thing that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. But I get it when people ask, what do you want to focus on? Like, what's the thing that sticks out to you? What is the thing? And that's how I pitch it to people. I ask them, what is your passion? Where do your passions lie? Because even if you're going into a career in, say, like law, and you just really want to be a writer, you really just love writing, and you think that you can do it legally, like write legal documentation, but you just really enjoy writing itself and the creation process. Like, I get that. And so the way I pose it is, where are your passions? What are you most passionate about? Or if you could do anything, just over and over and over again and never lose interest, what would that thing be? Everybody has one thing that they really enjoy doing, and I could give a fuck what they want to do career-wise. Like, where's their passions? Because that's where the real insight comes from. That's where that person that's where they are. I don't give a shit if they want to be a fucking judicial law, judge. Dude, if you want to play trombone, fucking play the trombone, man. Like, that's your passion. Do your thing. But whenever you get this question a lot, as a person who's, I don't know, let's say 16 on, you're going to get that question of, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Where's your career heading, Mr. Pullman? And my rebuttal to that, or my response to such a question is, it normally would be, well, I'm thinking of this, I kind of want to do that, and this unsteady ground usually invokes a response similar to, well, you really need to get that figured out soon. I mean, the sooner you get it figured out, the more time you have to develop it. Like, honestly, I get that. I have multiple investments. Even as poor as I am, I have multiple investments for that very notion, because I know the sooner you start, the more ahead you get in the game. Totally makes sense, but you're degrading somebody. You're making them feel like they have to get it figured out right away, and that's not the case at all. People get it figured out later in life, and it's not even that. It's just, I'm focusing on, like, alternative energy. Like, that's my passion. I enjoy thinking of different ways to make solar panels, or making stators and rotors, copper wire coiled up, and having passing magnetic fields that generate electricity. That's an insane idea that just fucking, it blows my mind that you can take. So let's take an alternator, for example. You can run a small electrical current through copper wiring, making that an electromagnet. So you use electricity to turn something into a magnet to which you make more electricity from. That's fascinating. That is the most like amazing thing I've ever heard, that you can take something as simple as a fucking energy to make more energy. It doesn't make sense. Like, I want to know more about that. And that's where my passions lie. But if I told somebody about that and say, well, I want to do something with alternative energy, they're like, yeah, okay, I guess I get it, but like, what job is that? What kind of job? How much do you make? You know, and that doesn't make sense to me, because I feel like if you can make your life sustainable, you don't need to give a fuck about how much money you make. You can do anything you want, you know? You can follow your piano passions. It's fine, you know? Like, as long as you create a sustainable lifestyle to where you're not always living paycheck to paycheck. But see, this is my thing. This is my suggestion to you. If you're in that age range and you're looking for, you know, your thing, you don't really know quite what it is. Early on in life, I was kind of blessed with this voice that sounds like an announcer. I don't know, it's just something that I've become renowned for. It's something that I've, like, I don't know, it's become my identity. You know, it's whenever I go to Six Flags and I talk to those people, or even if my name is ever brought up for God knows what reason, it'd be, oh, Eric Pullman, you know, like, it's just, they instinctively try and do the voice. It's, like, tied in with who I am, and I was a little blessed with that, but also kind of cursed, because it's like, I know what I want to do, but then I also know what I'm really good at. Because I'm very passionate about chemistry, about biochemistry, the way by which supplements will interact with your body to make it a little more advantageous environment inside, so you can work out better or just have performance enhancing abilities, you know, or you can lift 10 more pounds, or you can do 10 more sets. I think that's fascinating, especially like pre-workout. That'll get you going, and it'll carry on for the rest of the day, and like, you just feel fucking on top of the world. I love those things, and so I know where my passions lie, but then I also know what I'm really good at, and just not like I developed it in any way, but that I'm just instinctively good at. And I feel like I can do like commercials or whatever, but it's just whenever I get into that mode, and whenever I sit down and I get my tablet running, I get everything going, my little temporary studio, it's not something that I can carry on for too long. And I feel so perfectionist about it that it's like it kills it a lot, you know? Like, I'm never proud of my work. I'm always disgusted and feel like I could have done better. But I know what I'm instinctively good at, and then where my passions lie, what I want to know more about. And it's a little bit of a confusing atmosphere to be at. So that's the place that I'm at. So whenever I'm always given the question of, so what are you going to do after Trader Joe's, Eric? You're doing something after, right? You're not going to become a manager here, are you? Like, that's the worst profession ever. You know, like, these people are fucking weird. Like my fucking managers are cool. Like, I don't know why you'd be so, I don't know, like, why people see that as being such a terrible thing to do, but I mean, I got cool people that I work for. But, you know, they come off as that, like, you don't want to stick around here forever. You want to do something else. I know you do. What do you want to do, Eric? And my typical response is, don't really know, kind of figuring it out. I love alternative energy. I have a radio voice. I think I'd be good at law, but I don't know, you know. So, and then they take it as, oh, he really doesn't know. Well, you got to get that figured out. Blah, blah, blah. You really have a little bit of time. Eric, get out of the boat. Eric! Put your back! God damn it! They're disappointed in me. I don't know why. But my suggestion to you, if you are in a similar situation, is to say to them, Mr. X, Y, and Z, or Mrs., let's not be sexist here, what would you suggest that I do? In your line of expertise, what do you think I should do? Put the question on them. Make it seem as if, well, no. I'm not going by, take revenge on these people. Because they're well-intentioned. They just really want to know. They're curious. And sometimes it goes from a point of curiosity to animosity. And you need to stop it in its tracks before it grows to that point. And say, well, and just put them in the creative seat. Tell them, from what you have seen, what field would you advise I go into? Because this will separate two people. There are two different people that ask you this kind of question. One is those who just want to get to know you. The people who are just curious, they just want to know. The second one is those people who are like, well, you really need to get your shit together, So, this is more towards that second person, because then they'll probably have an opinion for you. And from that opinion, you can derive some sort of advice and gain some sort of insight into your life. Because if this person is so full of opinions that they're going to, judge you, and that's the worst thing that can happen, make that worst thing that can happen into something advantageous for your own self-being and say, oh, okay, I kind of get that. If this person has such a strong opinion, they probably have a strong opinion on biochemistry and why you should go into that field. And then you could go from there and say, well, I actually have a little bit of interest in biochemistry. Or if, they're just working as, well, I'm an insurance agent. I just got in the right place at the right time. They pay me good money, but if I had to do it all over again, I would do this, This is the field I would go into because X, Y, and Z, It's not to make fun of these people, but I'm trying to more than anything rationalize where they're coming from and what they actually intend, because I feel like everybody comes from a point of well-intention. I don't think anybody really implies malice. I think it's not intentional, but they come off as kind of dickish and just pompous, only because you're in the position of you're in an unsteady position. If you lost, you could more easily lose your job, and when you do, it's going to be pretty devastating because you don't make that much. Something of that nature. Shit. Hey guys, have you ever had your check engine light blink? Because that's happening right now. Check it out. Check, 1, 2, check 3, 4, check. My car is just acting like a bitch right now. It's got a traction off light. It's got a blinking check engine light. Sometimes the service light comes on and the anti-theft one. For some reason, it just I think the CPU is going haywire. And my RPM is shooting up and down, and my car is running very unsteady. Much like the career I have. What am I gonna do? I gotta get this all figured out. No, but it's something I've been thinking about, and it kind of had me inspired to make this podcast today. This little audio thing that I do every now and then. It's fun, articulating your ideas. If you're out there, if you're listening to me, what's up? How you doing? What's your name? My name is Eric. This is the Eric Pullman Show, I guess. That's what I'm calling it. EPP, the Eric Pullman Podcast. Epic. Eric Pullman Identification Control Information Center. Yes, it's the Eric Pullman Information Center. Epic. It's what the podcast is called. It's epic. I don't know. That's just the thought that I had here.